Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Dear students, section A, BS 4th, we have a class of semantics, and we will discuss how meanings in semantics is constructed, interpreted, and clarified, obscured, illustrated, simplified, negotiated, contradicted, and paraphrased. So we will start with the simple definition of the term semantics. जी, what is semantics? आपकी तरफ से, do you have you want to share your views on the definition of this term, semantics?
Yes, sir.
जी, what is semantics?
Sir, semantics actually is the about the literal meaning of a word.
Okay, so you have added the word literal meanings. ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
it's again limiting the study of semantics to literal meanings. We have many other types of meanings, and that is the next topic that we will discuss in detail. Uh, uh, we see that Leach has defined 7 types of meanings. So somehow meanings beyond, under the sentence level, we discuss these meanings in semantics. Beyond sentence level, we go into the domain of discourse. Okay, so the study of meanings in journal is called semantics, but within language, because if we are studying meanings beyond language, including language, but beyond language, that means that we are in the field of uh, there is another branch of meanings, study of meaning, that is called, yes, any
Sure.
idea? G. Semiotics. Semiotics is the branch of meaning that studies in journal the meanings in everything, in every aspect of the life. So we know that meaning is the basic or foundational component of language, and without this building block, language will not function. The language system will not function. And we see that this is the foundational component. Without meaning, forms, systems, sounds, and words, these are useless. So we need to include the component of okay, Ibrar, you mute your mic. Okay, I think we have a background knowledge, sorry, noise over here. Ibrahim,
Yes, sir.
do you have any noise in your background? Okay, it's okay, fine now. So let's discuss the point that that meaning is the essential component of language, and we have discussed this point in detail when we were talking about the scope of semantics, and in that lecture we somehow came to the conclusion that without meanings, this system, the system of language, is useless. So, meaning is the foundational component or building block of language. Okay, so what we can do with meanings, and the first thing is that how do we construct meanings? Gee, any idea that how do we construct meanings? कोई भी आप में से अपना, you can share your opinion with us that how do we construct meanings?
Sir, we actually associate meaning with words in our society, and meanings are in the minds of the people.
Okay, you're right, but in simple
So,
terms,
how we construct meaning is.
Very good. Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay, construction of meaning. For construction of meaning, we need words, phrases, and sentences in language. This is the simple method of construction of meaning. As I discussed with you, that it is not that simple as we have included only words, phrases, and sentences for construction of meaning. There are many other important, fundamental, essential constituents of meaning making process. Sometimes they are referred as supplementary or additional things like non-verbal components. They are considered as supplementary or additional things, but now we know that, and we have different experts who consider these elements as the necessary constituents of meaning making. यानी एडिशनल नहीं कह रहे, नॉन वर्बल को एडिशनल नहीं कह रहे, लेकिन still we will stick to the notes that I have shared with you. And within this, meaning is constructed through the combination of words, phrases, and sentences. Okay, so in simple terms, these words that are symbols, words could be in sounds or in letters. These are symbols, and these symbols represents concepts. ये जो वर्ड्स हैं ये किस चीज को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, कॉन्सेप्ट्स को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. And when we combine these concepts, as Ferdinand de Saussure has defined language as interrelation of symbols, with the interrelation or with the combination of these symbols we get meanings. तो इस तरीके से Ferdinand de Saussure has defined language. So words or symbols represent concepts, and by combining these concepts or symbols or words we create meanings. ये simple तरीका है. For example, we have simple two words. यहाँ पे we have two words, dog and house. And you see that if we order them along with certain phrases in a specific syntactic structure, we get specific meanings. अब इन्हीं को we can order them or we can sequence them in different syntactical structures, and we will get different meanings. In simple terms, like here you see a sentence, the dog is in the house. Simple sentence, and we get simple meanings out of, positive meanings out of it. That there is an entity, and this entity is present in another entity. Dog in the house. यानी आपके पास two entities हैं, dog and house, and we see that according to this sentence, by combining the words in specific order, we get meanings. किस तरह की meaning है? The dog is in the house. ठीक है, अब ये simple meaning we get. अच्छा, अब देखें, the second thing that we discussed was that meanings are interpreted. Meanings are interpreted. Okay, this is a process. Meaning making is a process between parties. Communication is a process of exchange of ideas and concepts between, at least between two parties, and there could be many parties within a discussion where we are constructing meanings. बहुत सारे लोग भी एक discussion का हिस्सा हो सकते हैं. And in the same way, for example, when you write a text, we see that this text is shared by you with many people, and you get many definitions of the same message. बहुत से different meaning उसके आ सकते हैं आपके पास. So interpretation of meaning जो है is a subjective process. Which type of process? Subjective process. And subjective process is a process which is somehow influenced by the immediate context, by your cultural background, and by the experiences that you have. अच्छा जी, किस तरीके से हम कह रहे हैं कि सब्जेक्टिव प्रोसेस है मीनिंग मेकिंग का प्रोसेस? एनी आइडिया? जी।
Sir, everybody has different kind of mindset. If
ओके
we talk about something and there is a sign, so we associate meaning in different ways. Everybody has different concept. For example, we hear the word coffee, so everybody will define coffee in different way. So that means that meaning is subjective according to everybody.
ओके सो इट्स अ सब्जेक्टिव प्रोसेस. अच्छा, what are the things that influence this subjective process? कोई और इब्राहिम के अलावा भी? Anyone else who wants to share his or her views?
सर आपको क्वेश्चन क्या है?
जी, मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि फॉर एग्जांपल मीनिंग मेकिंग इज अ सब्जेक्टिव प्रोसेस. सो व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट इन्फ्लुएंस दिस सब्जेक्टिव प्रोसेस? कौन सी चीजें हैं? व्हाट आर द एलिमेंट्स दैट इन्फ्लुएंस दिस प्रोसेस? वो कौन सा
सर हमारा
डिफरेंट?
एक्सपीरियंस एक दूसरे से वेरी करता है, तो
ओके,
वो चीज इन्फ्लुएंस करती है.
so your experience, we know that all of us are having different personal experiences. We are not having same, like we have same world, but we experience the world in different ways. All of us are not experiencing this world in the same way. Different people, different experiences. अच्छा, कोई और चीज? Anything, any other thing that influences our experiences?
Culture, culture.
Okay, culture is another element that can influence our meaning making process. Culture, like you are coming, we are from the same culture, but you know that we speak different languages, we are coming from different geographies, we are coming from different areas with different traditions, with different customs, with minor differences in our overall culture, that these things influence meaning making process. Whenever you are this, so for this reason we call it subjective process. Subjective process, it's not objective. We sometimes we make it objective, but actually in reality this process is subjective process. ठीक है, इसके अंदर ये जो चीजें आपने जोड़ी हैं ये इन्फ्लुएंस कर रही होती हैं. ठीक है, individual is very important. Individual is central in meaning making process. We can't exclude individuals. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि सिर्फ words जो हैं उनसे meaning बन रहे हैं. So the first thing that I shared with you, that meaning making is a process in which we are combining words, phrases and sentences, but you know that individuals are important, they are central. They, without individuals we do not make meanings. Like इस तरह हो नहीं सकता कि इंडिविजुअल के बगैर जो है ये मीनिंग मेकिंग प्रोसेस कंप्लीट हो जाए. So individuals are important. If individuals are important, we know that individuals are coming from different backgrounds, they are having different experiences, they are having their own perspectives, and if they are having their own perspectives, it means that their interpretations will be different. We will not have same interpretation for a text. इसके लिए एक सिंपल मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूंगा कि कुरान मजीद round about 1450 years, 47 years, and you see that we have hundreds of interpretations of Holy Quran. Why we have so many interpretations? Same text but different interpretations. क्या वजह है, क्यों इतनी ज्यादा लोगों ने तफसीरें की हैं? What is the reason behind that? जी, आपकी राय, your view. Why we have so many interpretations of Holy Quran? Still people are writing tafasirs. क्यों लिख रहे हैं?
क्योंकि सर हर दौर की प्रॉब्लम्स अलग होते हैं तो उस हिसाब से उनके जो है तो तफसीर भी डिफरेंट होती जाती है, एक्सपीरियंसेस डिफरेंट होते हैं.
So it means that you got my point. That if we are coming from different backgrounds, if we have different cultural contexts, तो हमारी मीनिंग की इंटरप्रिटेशन डिफरेंट होती जाएगी. सो दिस वाज माय पॉइंट. एंड मानूर ने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि क्योंकि हम लोग उसी टेक्स्ट को डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव से देख रहे हैं, सो वी गेट डिफरेंट मीनिंग्स. हमारे पास डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मीनिंग आएंगे. ओके, सो थोड़ा सा इसमें आगे जाते हैं. लेट्स मूव अहेड. ओके, यू सी दैट इफ मीनिंग मेकिंग प्रोसेस इज सब्जेक्टिव प्रोसेस, तो इसका मतलब यह है कि कुछ और चीजें भी हो सकती है. सम टाइम वी आर अनक्लियर अबाउट द मीनिंग्स. ठीक है, वी आर अनक्लियर. अनक्लियर, वी नीड क्लैरिफिकेशन, वी रिक्वायर क्लैरिफिकेशन. ठीक है, मीनिंग कभी कभी क्या हो जाते हैं, क्लियर नहीं होते. एंड फॉर दैट रीजन वी यूज एडिशनल वर्ड्स. So what are the different strategies that we can use to achieve clarity? What are the different strategies? जी, we use additional words, we use explanations, we use examples. अब ऊपर आप देखें, जैसे आपके पास approximately in every paragraph I have added an example. So what is the purpose of adding this example in each and every paragraph? क्या पर्पस है इस एग्जाम्पल को ऐड करने का? जी,
To clarify the meaning.
to clarify the meanings. I believe, or the writer of this text believes, that there might be confusion, there might be ambiguity. नीचे आ रहा है obscurity. To resolve that ambiguity, to bring that clarity that is required, what we do, we use additional words, we explain the concepts, we add examples. So these are some of the strategies that are used to clarify meanings. अच्छा, अब देखें जिस तरीके से आप क्लैरिफाई कर रहे हैं. ओके, all of you are with me? It's showing that we are running out of time. So when the meeting will end, I will share another link with you and all of you connect with that. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go back to the topic that if someone uses a word that is unfamiliar, like in the next paragraph, you see a word obscure. I believe that most of you will not be having the exact meaning of this word, like obscure. Though we have discussed this in the previous lecture, but this is the word. I believe that this word is new for you. If you are not clear about this word, then what I will do with this word, I will use some additional words. I will use explanations. I will add an example to make this concept clear. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear.
चलें देखें. The next concept is that as we can clarify meanings, in the same way sometimes meanings are obscured. अच्छा, meaning can be obscured intentionally and or unintentionally. अब ये intentionally और unintentionally कैसे हो सकता है? यानी sometime the speaker or the writer of the text or conversation unintentionally makes communication obscure. ठीक है? And sometime the writers or the speakers intentionally do that thing.
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही, आवाज क्लियर नहीं है जी.
अच्छा, एक मिनट. Is it clear now? Ibrahim?